What's up, everybody? This is RHMax in the evening. Your crypto go. No, that was a bad montage, wasn't it? Or homage, one of those. Anyways, GymRat's not here. Anyways, he's occupied in the screen room for a minute backstage. But welcome everyone. Appreciate you joining us on this lovely afternoon. It's going to be a good show. We got Muscle Milk and we got GymRatCrypto in the house. We're going to be talking about all kinds of fun stuff in addition to HEX, PulseX, all that stuff. We're going to be talking about fitness, mind, body, spirit, all that good stuff. We got Galaxy Brain in a tight body wrapped up in one. He's in the industry to make moolah, but also show some strength, some masculinity, some alpha, all the alpha stuff. So appreciate it. Share the link, guys. Share, guys, girls, whoever got out there. Share the link. CryptoSoft in the house. Bugs is here. He's hitting it up. He's loving it too. Appreciate it. Jerry was here a minute ago. Don't know where he went, but ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, GRC.
What's up, bro?
I want to tell you that I love when you start your show. Sometimes when I go back and watch it, if I'm not watching it, I'll go back and watch it, and you start it, and you're just like this super chill intro. And I gotta say, I love that. I think it's so cool.
We're pretty different the way that we run our stuff. It's like almost the exact opposite. Like I have to be emotionally ready for my show. Not like I'm not used to doing things on a technical level, really, at ever. Like it never, I never got into that. Like it was always sales or like trying to make the next thing happen. And that's how I've always been. But now it's like when it comes to crypto, it's like there's dense studying involved, but still it's, at the end of the day, crypto is the best thing to study because it's like there's like 100 different pieces to it. There's like a spot for everyone.
It is. No, I think, our styles are completely different. I would say your style is working very well. So please keep that up. I think it's a thankless job in a lot of ways, man. Like you go live every day and it's either you're great at your job, you're insane. I don't know which one it is.
I'm insane. No, I'm insane. I'm insane.
But it's like this thing. You're giving so much.
I've done this before. I've experienced this before in different avenues of my life. There's a part of my life where everyone worked out too. And then at 28, if you looked at all my friends next to me, the guys that were on the football team, the middle linebackers, the football, like I'm a small dude. I wasn't no middle linebacker or quarterback or nothing back in school. I was a smaller guy in school, and they're fat, they're overweight. They weren't determined. They thought that they would, it just, so I realized that nothing like that mattered. Like, didn't matter if you went to school, if you were a football player, if you were this, that, the other, didn't matter. It was like, who's paying attention right now? Who's swinging hard right now? It's all that matters. It's live stream 2022. Like, it's right now. It does not matter what you did in college 5 years ago, period. Like, crypto is happening boom, 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 boom all day long. And that's why I'm so happy to be here. Cause it's like, I finally found a spot where, I could hustle and like make money, but it's not fun. It's like hard.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
There's some trade-offs. I gotta say, crypto is one of those industries where there's so many different sub niches, and you can really find what you're good at. And if you're not good at it, you can develop so easy because you find the community that you like, or you find the people that are just killing it around you, and you learn from them. That's, again, being a new streamer. I'm like, I've just watched you all. I watch what you're doing. I'm like, oh, GymRat does this kind of style. Maybe I should try something like that on mine. Crypto Kindness, he's the one that first talked to me, and he did my first stream. And he afterwards, he spent time with me. He's like, hey, here's what I think. Here's some advice. Here's what you should be doing. And it was just like this huge aha moments for me. I'm like, oh, it never even occurred to me to even think about it.
Are you working like a normal person kind of gig?
I currently have a full-time job. Yeah.
So you're a crazy person.
I knew he was going there. Yeah,
you're in that part of your life where it's like you don't really care about much else but work. You might have relationships, of course, you got to take care of those, but you're working all day long.
I don't stop very much. It's always been my personality. I've always just been like, I want to be productive, and I I kind of optimize my life in a way that I'm really, really tired at the end of the day, but throughout the day, I just kick ass. I mean, I'm not saying to like brag. I'm just saying like I measure myself on all these different things, and I know what I want to get done, and I make my life around that. And I still, I have a family, I have a full-time job, and now I have streaming, and I have to, I have to balance everyone's schedule and make sure it all works out. But it's, yeah, sometimes I look at it, if I take a step back and look at it as you did, from a different perspective, I'm like, wow, I'm doing a lot. There's a lot going on.
Well, it's like, what's driving you, right? Like, why? A lot of people would just ask you why. They would just be like, why are you putting yourself through this? But you know exactly why you're putting yourself through this. Deep down. I mean, come on. I mean, like, at the end of the day, if PulseChain pops off and all this shit pops off and we're at the bottom level of it, like, our lives are going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Whether we're streaming or not.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically hedging our bets in a way. It's kind of like, it's like a double hedge, right? It's not a hedge. It's like almost like leveraging it. It's like, okay, like we put a lot of our finances into this already. So, and then we believe in it and the software's there. So it's kind of like the future's here, guys. Like, welcome. Like I'm a very savvy individual. I'm very good in person. I'm very social, and I could see when things are happening, right? And it's just is what it is kind of stuff to me. Like, DeFi is happening. All this stuff's happening, whether we like it or not, whether it's 50% taxed or not. This is more efficient. It makes more money for everyone.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. Being a Richard Heart maximalist, having followed him since 2017, I was in before HEX. I'd be here if HEX died tomorrow. That would suck. If Pulse didn't launch, the worst thing in the world happened. I'd be like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe that happened. But hey, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop following. Like, I think everyone needs a hero. Everyone needs
awesome.
Yeah, even if God forbid anything bad ever happened to Richard, I hope that never ever happens. But if it did, I'm not gonna be ashamed. I'm not gonna feel bad about like listening to him, promoting his ideas, promoting his products. Fuck all that.
No, because deep down though, you know what's right and what's wrong. You've seen enough stuff. You have to say that because you can't be as sure. Like, people can have some messed up mental issue, I guess, and then somehow want to trick everyone by working really hard every single day, which makes no sense. Like, over a long period of time, anyone that's done anything hard realizes what Richard's doing. It's just like, it takes a long time, and he's been doing it for a long time.
I feel like I'm catching up in a way. It's touched on my motivations too. I think I'm catching up because I've been very passive for the last few years, and nobody knows who I am. And hopefully they will in the next few months if I keep banging out some content. But,
well, they will. No, but again, it's like it's also like it's a time allocation thing. So like you might stream 4 times a week, which is great, really a lot. But just for example, like, I study for my stream a lot of the day. Not saying that, like, you know what I mean? Everything's different. Like, it's just like a time thing. Like, you have to focus on one thing during the day. So like, as long as you're doing what you're doing and moving forward, it's going to work. But again, like, you have a lot of stuff going on. And so that's the only thing. It's like, you have to manage your emotional health too at some point. You can't, like, yourself. You can't just be like recklessly staying up till 3 a.m. and stuff.
No. I'm early. I'm early in both
of these. I wouldn't even had to ask you. Like, I know you're not staying up till the middle of the night because you sent me a rubric.
No. Oh no. Oh yeah.
I mean, people like that, they're a little bit high and tight, which is good. More of that, less of the other way.
I think, I will slow down streaming a little bit. I think I got family visiting coming in and stuff like that soon. In the summer, it's summer and it's nice to go outside here and all that. But no, I think, I don't know. Like I said, optimize my life. I've had so much practice and so much diligence around doing it. I've got it to a point where I don't get stressed about a lot of things, and I don't get, negative emotions a lot of times because I know how to like amplify. I mean, this goes into self-development stuff of like, I know how to amplify my happiness in a way that, and not put myself out there to get too emotionally drained. And I'm definitely looking forward to vacation. I would say the last couple of months have been, I've never made so many freaking thumbnails in my life. I would like to kind of just rest on my laurels a little
financial. No, I don't want to get into your specifics. Of course, you have a family, which is the automatic, like, doesn't matter how much money you have card, because if you have a family, it's just infinite. Like, you know how it is. But would you ever think about maybe teaming with somebody that knew maybe some different stuff than you did that could help you? And I'm not saying that
Don't tell me you're kicking Sam out. Are you announcing on the
No,
stream?
I'm talking like, and I'm not talking about a co-host as much as maybe even behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean,
like, dude, like like, you got to think about your creative energy too. So while you're going, you could slam a hammer all day long. Me too. I could do 20 hours straight if I had to, right?
Yeah.
But then as I've worked my way out of it, I'm like, Scott, you have to almost like what my producer has taught me is, he's like, you have to you are this part of this, and you have to like almost bend your life in order, like, because I'm going all in, but I don't have a family and I don't have shit, so like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, hope.
I have hope, but you know what I mean, like, I have a house, I have money for 6 months, whatever. But again, it doesn't even bother me anymore. I've been through so much bullshit. It's like, come on, give me something harder than this. Like, to me, this is a fucking cakewalk. Like, to be honest, as far as emotionally, not like this technicals of it, but like as far as the other stuff that I've been through, we're talking about crypto and money and excessive yield, and like that's all we talk about. Like, we made a 10,000x. Oh, we're down even on the year. Like HEX is even on the year, and everyone wants to put a bullet in their best buddy's back. Like, even. Yeah. No, we're up.
Yeah.
2x or whatever, 1x. I don't know. Like, who cares though? The point is, people are so clueless, and this. Like, I don't have to ask you, and I'm not saying clueless like they're bad or stupid, but they don't think about things all the way through. And that's what my channel, I wanted to change for me. Like, I just was so sick of watching shit, and it's like, no one knows what you're talking about. You're just trying to be like catchy almost, like, it was catchy, but like, I'm like, what? Where's the liquidity coming from? You never even got to it. That's why I was watching every stream, and I'm like, you never even got to the damn thing I was trying to figure out. And then I'm finding like guys with 1K subs, 3K subs. The only way I can get real information, because what happens? It's like people start to sell out because they need money. But what did RH teach us, and life teaches you? If you work very hard and you provide actual value, like, you actually get something in return for that. Yeah. Like, so if you provide it, it will come. And that's kind of like what I've been trying to do. Like, that's just what I try to do. I'm like, all right, guys, what's the biggest news in the morning? Let's go. Like, let me get into it for you. And I'll study it all morning, for the people, because I got the time for that subject or whatever.
Well, so that's kind of like life 101 as far as value goes. It's, if you provide value for society, society gives you what you want. I mean, that's, I studied Naval Ravikant a lot. I mean, Richard, of course, has alluded on that or elaborated on that too. But it's like, a scam is when you don't provide value, but you get something back. And a not scam is you provide value and society rewards you. So you go create Tesla Motors, and you create amazing cars. Richest man in the world. He deserves it. He deserves every penny, because he created that much value for society. You go and scam a bunch of people,
and
you end up in bad places.
Depressed half the time.
Is that's the other trade-off too?
How much is not happy? There's 0% chance, and there's no way guys like that can be happy.
He's happy when he's tweeting. That's why he tweets so much. I think he needs an outlet for it.
You know what I mean, though. Like, there's just so much going on. There's no it's like you're like not even a real human anymore. It's like you're a different species, basically, because you don't interact the same way as others anymore. Yeah, and it's weird. And it's like, that's what kind of Richard kind of punches through that a little bit by acting like a normal guy, like to an extent. But
I just realized I posted your comment on the channel while you're here. I never thought I would do that, but I'm like, why not?
I'm gonna post this tweet.
It's like, isn't he on there right now? Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too. I wanted to say is, you can have happiness, or you can have desire. You can get what you want, or you can be happy, and the balance in between is what is the trade-offs you make and where you oscillate back and forth throughout your life.
Like, what do you actually want? Like, do you just want to be impactful? Like, I know guys like you. It's not about ego at this point, is it? Come on. I mean, it's hard for it to be about ego because you've seen enough people, at least me, I say this to myself, I've seen enough people try that. It doesn't work. The ego thing just doesn't work. I've tried it. It's like, okay, now you have friends that don't actually like you. And you have lovers that
ego
like you. And I've never had a relationship. So like you, I think you've mentioned that you were in a long-term relationship of some sort. But I'm also haven't experienced a lot of that stuff, but I forgot what we were talking about.
I think you were asking about motivations and desire. Like, what do you want?
Yeah, like what do you want? Like, if you really think about it, like, do you get jacked up, or do you just try to like almost feel content within your day, and this is what creates that? Like, whatever you do, like, because
I don't think this fulfills my day. I wouldn't say that. I'm more of like throughout the day, I'm prepping for it because I want to produce the good content, and throughout the week and things like that. I think I have a vision.
You just love crypto. You love crypto.
I do love crypto. I think I love creating things. I think I'm a creator at heart. I've always been for the last 10 or 15. I mean, I code. Like, I wouldn't say, you could say I'm a professional developer in a way because I work for big companies doing development.
You should hang out with me and Bullish in the back room, so we can talk, because he's a Web3 guy and I have a lot of ideas, and stuff about specifics, so we could come up with some good shit, like if we were just talking, because again, I'm still new when it comes to that side of things, like even chatting about it.
That's what I've been doing for the last decade or so professionally.
That's awesome, dude.
That's okay. That's a great segue. I want to provide value. I want to give back. Again, I've been passive for so long. I feel like I've not given enough to the community, and I've gotten a lot back, and I hope to get a lot more back, through investing, through, all the products being successful, all that stuff, what everybody else wants. But I think that I have, I think I can be authentic. I think I can be unique and create good content. And that's systematically, you see, we have a doc where I write down ideas of things to talk about. You see how systematic I am about this stuff. Like, I come up with a formula to create content. I want to do it.
You're acting as a producer for yourself, which is hard. Like, and most people do that, but it's not easy to do properly. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to do it properly.
On the fly and having 2 months experience.
Yeah, exactly, man. And, that's all it takes in this world. It really is. Like, in the world of, that's what it is now. It is what it is. Like, if crypto's taking over, then guys like you and me are taking over, because we'll never stop. I'll never stop. Like, and people hate me for that.
That's what I wanted to ask.
Me so much for that. They know it. When I get into a little tiff with someone, they look at me and they're like, he will never leave. And I look back at him and I'm like, I've never lied either. And that hurts them. It hurts them so deeply, because I got all that bad shit out of the way when I was real young, and people would forgive me for it.
It's a good time for it.
They forgave me. Like, I was 19, 18, 17, and I looked at everyone and I just was like, I didn't know what was going on. I changed a bit, and I moved on from that part of my life. But I got the ass beating. Like, I did. And I'm so glad I got it.
You got to have the ass beating. If you don't have the ass beating early, you're going to get it later, and it's going to be much worse.
Oh, you cannot
ruin a lot of opportunities for you.
You do not want to experience your first ass beating when you're 35 with 2 kids. Like, you have to have had like 10x ass beatings by then, because you won't make it. You won't make it in a marriage come on. Like, that takes real life experience and like genuine desire to be like moving forward. I'm learning a lot more about relationships. Pretty weird.
Well, I wanted to ask you too. We go back to relationships, but before I forget, what do you think? Do you think people? Do you think about the streamers today? So you mentioned around this a little bit about different motivations for them. Mm-hmm. Do you think if HEX goes to $1, PulseChain goes to a penny, whatever, they're set? They don't need to talk about it anymore to pump their own bags. How many of you think will stay around? I mean, you think it'll be here? When everybody's rich.
There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of social revenue in having large social media accounts. So, I mean, that doesn't go away. Like, Richard would not just be happy with $10 billion. I promise, because he could have probably done that. And I'd
already have it.
He wanted to make an impact, right? And that's when it changes. People think it's ego-based, but at the end of the day, I sit at my fucking house all day, bro. Like, I tell people this all the time. If you think this is ego-based, I would be at a club somewhere taking pictures, trying to do that kind of thing. Because, I mean, I have a six-pack, so why would – it's because I don't like to do that. Like, I just don't enjoy that. So I think they – I don't know. I think that I again forgot what we were kind of talking about. But, yeah, no, I just think it's just –
who's going to be here when the music keeps going?
The guys
that
that
even
care,
stops.
man. The guys that
when the music gets turned up real loud, who's still going to be here?
Hexicans care, man, but the other ones don't care. A lot of the other ones don't care. They're just looking for a gig. They're looking for a gig, man, because Hexicans went through hell. Even if you were later on Hexican, you went through hell because you had to find your way there. And everyone's to this day is still calling it a scam. Like, what? It's
2 years in, 10,000x, super scam, huh?
2,600 like something X and him twerking all over the internet. And, you know, it's wild. But at the end of the day, like, this is the world we live in now with this internet shit and like abs and like that's the stuff that like sells. And then like super genuinely good content also sells. But it's like kind of polar opposites like that sell.
So that's a good entry point too. Like, I don't think I've heard your story yet. Like, could you just tell me what's your story? How'd you get into crypto? How'd you find Richard?
So I was in dating courses and shit. Like, you know, I've had an interesting life. I never played by the rules ever. Never a day in my life, ever. I swear to God, never. So today I was in 5th grade, 4th grade, 3rd grade, never. Like ever. I wanted to play sports. I told my teachers to F off. I told my parents to F off. I was bad. Like I had no regulation system. I was a dopamine seeking freak of nature. And I still am to this day, but now I'm an adult and I don't want to go to jail, certainly. So I decided to figure out what the hell to do with my personality by like studying Jordan Peterson, studying dating, studying everything, dude. Like I could talk about Jordan Peterson and all that stuff all day long. Now I don't really care about that stuff anymore, but at the time, dude, I really, really, really did. Like really did.
I love JP.
About my personality because I was like depressed all the time.
Yeah.
I was depressed.
That's who he speaks to, young men. That's who can benefit from a lot of his messaging.
And my life was good. Like girls liked me and shit. I was depressed all the time, dude. Like I played video games, I had friends, I played sports, and I was straight depressed. Like I could not, and it was because I was completely drawn into that dopamine like system. Like I was on Adderall young, I was playing Halo 2 almost like you know, like getting close to professionally, like all day long, like really, you know, like we were in the weeds, like doing the stuff that like I was doing stuff that was this exciting when I was like 14, but like it was different. It was like video game exciting, you know what I mean? Like rainbows. Anyway, all the video games and stuff, but RuneScape, like, oh my God, all that stuff was so good, but that's all I fucking did. Like I could not stop. And then I realized at some point after arrests, drug abuse, stuff like that, I was like, this is stupid. I was like, this is dumb. I was like, I'm just beating my head against the wall. But I was like 20 now. That's probably a normal thing to feel like. At 20, you're kind of like, hold on a second. And then I was like, okay, now I'll date chicks. That's fair play, right? Like that's in my mind.
Chicks are good.
It was fair play. Like it was like not illegal. And it was, you know, you can be nice. Like you don't have to be.
Not yet.
For real. At some point it is a little bit. But anyway, I started taking these dating courses, and like at the end of the dating courses, they'd start talking about crypto and shit because they were like, "You gotta get your finances right if you're an alpha male or whatever." Like they were kind of trying to tell me, and I was like, "I have a little bit of money," and they were like, "Put it into Bitcoin, and it was like really Bitcoin was really low at the time. It was like 3,400, and I was like, "All right." So I did that. Never looked at it. I was on Coinbase. Probably a year went by, and then I was taking more courses. I was still involved in that. And eventually I saw Bitcoin was going to 65,000. I said, I better sign into Coinbase because I have $100,000. Like I was like, I have 100, I was like 1.7 Bitcoin or something. And I didn't sell it all at the top, but like I started dollar costing average. Dollar cost crypto was in the paid courses that I was doing. Like he was like part of the group or like he was like a teacher, or maybe not even a teacher yet. So this was way back, dude. Like, so this was when HEX was just being launched, but I didn't know about HEX yet, but like they all did. I just wasn't there yet. Like I didn't. So, but the guys that were talking to me about the paid course, the guys that own the paid course told me Richard was going to jail. And literally, and then dollar cost would come in and he was like, I don't know, man. I think this shit could be real. Like, and they were like, no, he's going to jail. He's a piece of crap. But really, they were just jealous and didn't feel like researching. And this one dude, John, who hates me to this day, I don't really hate him. He probably doesn't really.
Shout out to John.
Shout out to John. He'll never let me comment in dollar cost chat. He always bans me. But anyway, so they do all this shit and they made a mistake. And of course, they've come back and said that that is not the case since then. Of course, they all have fat HEX bags. You can guarantee that. Guarantee you that.
As Richard says, that'll make you say nice things.
Oh, it makes them shut their mouths is what it did. But no, come on. I mean, they made a mistake. They made a mistake. I'm not a friggin' idiot. Okay. I've made mistakes before in my life. I did not really put them on blast that hard. I retweeted one post that they did. And that's why they hate me now. Like it went viral for someone that caught the Mexican win. And like next thing, like, I don't know what happened, but next thing you know, like everyone's commenting on it. It's like 96 comments. And I was like, whoopsie. Like I took a nap and I woke up and I was like, no, please, no. But anyway, what I learned from that is you are allowed to make money in crypto. Like you are allowed to have paid courses in crypto. That is not illegal. And I probably won't make fun of anyone for doing it again, but I don't regret any of the things I did. I know more about business now than I did then. And I think that's fair play to business. I wouldn't do it because it's not like you have to be so qualified. I mean, like, at what point are you like the smartest dude, you know?
I don't know why. Is it just an obsession with money and other people's things? Is it like this envy, jealousy, I don't understand the fascination with like trying to like either call out people or it's like tell them how to spend their money or how they shouldn't do this. I don't get it. I'm just like, well, if you don't like what they're doing, right, then that's fine.
They're so narrow-minded that they want it to be right in that little moment. In that little moment, they wanted to be right, but they just were like, if you're wrong on that, like they're on the
wrong. I don't get it. Just be wrong. Are you going to lose? Are you going to like lose half your followers if you're wrong about something? I should never tweet again. I'm pretty sure I've tweeted something that's been wrong before. I don't get it. I mean,
you're right.
It's strange to me. So how'd you get that body though? Get to that part.
So how
you got that body?
Super fit.
Yeah, super fit.
Well, you know,
before crypto, after crypto?
I've always been super fit for probably for 5 years now. I've been probably considered super fit, like to the average person. I've probably been like freakishly fit for the last like 2 years, but I just it's just a personality disorder. If you really wanted to like cut to the chase on it, it's more so a mental thing. It's like, I get really anxious if I don't work out, like period, end of story. I don't even want to work out half the time. I am a freak of nature in the pillars of the personality. I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it's just high neuroticism. It's all it is. It's like,
is it literally you have this energy you're trying to release, or is it like a vanity thing?
It's a perfectionist thing. Like I don't want anyone to look at me in a negative light in any way.
Interesting.
But it's like an automatic, it's almost a defense mechanism. It's like it's a weird thing that you develop, but as you get older, it changes into just like, okay, I'm gonna live longer. Cool. Like, but
there are benefits to being very healthy.
Never starts like that, dude. To be honest, I'm just starting to care about health. I'm 28 years old, so like I think that's fair also. But other than my blood work, which, you know, everything, to be honest, I'm way more effective than most people. But in general, like most people don't know anything about what it takes to stay fit. Nobody knows what it takes. And their conceptions are completely wrong about everything. I am on testosterone replacement therapy. I tell everyone this. I talk about it on my show all the time.
All the time. What does that mean?
It means that I have a doctor and he prescribes me testosterone and I inject it into my body.
Oh, okay.
But it's just a dosage that's like therapeutic. So they can't give you obviously they can't turn you into some monster. It's a dosage that is meant to be therapeutic if you suffer from low doses. But you know how the United States is. They just give whatever. Like in a perfect world, they would only give it to 65-year-old men.
Yeah.
But I knew, since I'm smart, that if I didn't sleep for 2 days, my testosterone profile would be rugged. And that's what I did. I just stayed up for 2 days. And then I went to the doctor. And I just was like, do my blood work. My shit's fucked up.
Oh, interesting.
But again, don't do that ever.
Not doctor advice.
But you know what I mean? So I started doing that. And I got to the point where I was bodybuilding for 4 years natural. Not really, I guess bodybuilding wouldn't be the word for it, but I was perfect on nutrition, basically perfect on fitness for about 2 years. First 2 years, probably more experimental. Second 2 years, 100% locked in. And I got to this point and everyone was like, you're super ripped. It's good. I felt good. And it was unsustainable, 100%. And I was telling people that. They're like, you can be this, that, and the other. And I said, oh, well, I'm doing it. And it's impossible. For me, it was impossible. I was working way too hard. My whole life's energy was going to keeping my body the way. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. Because I watch all these guys. This doesn't make sense. Like it clicked. I was like, I watch all these guys, their lives are chill. I seen them eat a burger here and there, French fries, like go maybe a drink here and there. And I was like, come on a second. And my brain started flickering. And I was like, so I started looking into everything. And I found Sam years and years and years ago. And he taught me, man. He just taught me what the truth was. He didn't tell me to do anything. But he said, this is what these adults are doing, and this is why they're doing it, and they're pretending to do this instead of saying this. And Sam was very honest about what he was doing. So I said, tell me what's going on. And then you realize this whole world opens up to you. It's like you've been lied about hormones, pharmacology, everything. Nobody knows a fucking thing. No one, except like the smallest percentage of bodybuilding weirdos like me and Sam. Like, once you figure this stuff out, though, you realize you've been lied to about everything.
There's a great quote for that. There are no adults. Everyone's just making it up.
Oh, my God. That's so true. Because I was like talking to my doctor after I did like 11 days of research. And I'm like, you actually don't know what the hell you're talking about. I was literally in the room. Like, he kicked me out of the room. I was like, and this is how I am. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm very like that. But doctors don't know that shit when I walk in the room. But I was like, you're a fucking bluff. Literally, I'd be like, you're bluffing. Like straight up. Like I did 11 days of research on this. You're lying. You don't know what you're talking about, because I was asking about this, that, and the other, like very specific, nuanced questions that you would think maybe a doctor would know. Who else am I going to ask?
Yeah.
You know, my mom was like, right.
They refer you to WebMD. They're like, just go Google it.
But anyway, it's just, so I started doing the testosterone replacement therapy, and then I realized why all the bodybuilder dudes stay fit all year round. Although it's still very difficult, and I eat way less than most people. Like at the end of the day, I'm probably eating like 19 to 2,300 calories a day.
And still keeping in that. See, for a lot of people, that'd be fine if they weren't muscular, if they didn't have that kind of body.
But that's the thing. The testosterone keeps the muscle on your frame.
Ooh.
That's what changed. So your muscular structure, just for you, like you're an intellectual, so you'll kind of understand this. But your muscular structure is actually directly, almost like a financial product, directly proportional to your hormone profile. So you can only, like, if me and Sam checked your blood work and like looked at all your stats for everything and like watched you work out for a year, we could probably tell you within 5 pounds how big you could get naturally. Like you can, with a 6-pack, like obviously you get fat, but like, so your hormone profile, if you look at your family history, your family, you can tell what's possible, right? Of course, there's like Ronnie Coleman, random weirdos that like are crazy, but in general, it's like the average person will never be able to look like me, and I will never be able to look like the giant bodybuilder dudes on the stage, because my hormone profile will not allow it.
But could you change that by doing hormones? Is that how people do it?
Yep, that's exactly how they do it. They just take more hormones. But what do? They get reckless, and then they don't think about their blood work, and then they have drastic issues But there's a way, and this is what me and Sam have engineered for ourselves, but we never advise anyone to do this. There's a way to actually do things detailed and safely, but you have to be very detailed as a person. And if you're not, it's just like, don't even freaking dare. Like Sam, like, Sam, if Sam told you he was going to do something, you don't even know Sam, he would do it. Like,
Seems like a stand-up guy.
It's just like some people, like, I know you would do it. You have to be one of those guys. If you're flimsy, and it's okay. I've been flimsy in my life too, in certain times, but like not anymore. And just like you, like, you're pretty much like, there's no fat in my day. Like, you just pretty much know exactly what you got to do.
Yeah. My day off is, it's hard to do. I guess, yeah.
What was your max, like, best ever body, or like what time in your life, or is that right now? Or
it may be right now, man. I don't know. I've been trying. So the last 6 months to a year, lost a lot of weight because, the C word and all that stuff, kind of couldn't do a whole lot of stuff that I wanted to do. So ended up gaining a lot of weight. But now I'm trying to get down to my ideal weight and then build. See, I want to be at a certain weight, and then I want to build it back up. Like, I want to build it back up with muscle. So I'm losing some muscle mass right now, but I know that. I want to get down to give myself that buffer. I want to get down and then 5-10 pounds below my ideal weight, and then build it back up with muscle. That's my goal.
I agree with that method way more. Like, that would be more so my way of thinking as well. Like, I'd rather get to the negative. Like, Sam always mentions, like, not wanting. I'm willing to go down if I'm super lean, like, or leaner than I was, because then you can just, like, more like monitor yourself, like, if your abs are just, you can be, okay, I'm eating a little too much, let me trigger it back. Excuse me.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too. I wanted to ask you about keto, because I've been doing keto for a while now.
That's interesting. How the flip do you do that?
Really? It's you find it hard?
I never have needed to. It's for, you had extra weight on you.
Yeah.
So you were trying to see, I've never had the extra weight. So that would be, your mind triggered keto because you were like, I'd like to lose weight, but I'd never had, to me, losing weight would just be like a little tweak here or there. Like,
Well, two reasons. One, I wanted to lose weight. That was primarily, of course. But two, I can't, even today, bread, rice, pasta, it's all filler food. There's no nutrition in it. To me, that I've internalized, there is nothing good about those things.
You are correct. You're pretty correct.
I thought I would be. I mean, I haven't researched all this. Like, I'm not like this crazy like nutritionist, but I just, when I eat it, I'm just like, yeah, I feel full now, but like, what did I get out of it? So I've been optimizing fruits.
When do you start? Right in the morning?
Everything.
Right in the morning?
Sorry?
You start eating right in the morning?
Breakfast probably 2 hours after I get up.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, lifestyle wise, long-term wise, that you're thinking in the right way. Your body will like that. Now, you're still eating carbohydrates, so it's kind of like a little bit, I know you are allowed to eat carbohydrates on keto. There's like some proportion.
Keep it under either 50 or 20, depending on what tier you're trying to go for.
But when your hunger comes into play, when did you have to have like some short-term hunger issue? Like,
yeah, I mean,
in the interim,
there's some struggle. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, so protein.
I'm
sorry. Hey, chat. Let's say what's up to you all real quick. Hey, share the link. I know we get more than 11 people for GRC up in here. We're talking about some health stuff going on. There's some
That's all right.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So, what was I saying? Damn it! Why did I forget what I was saying?
It's all right.
What was your question? Do you remember?
Give me a second.
Got to get a pump in. Hold on, guys. Got to get a pump in.
No, you were talking about your keto. So you were mentioning how I mentioned there's a window between like when you would be.
Oh, hunger. Yes.
Hungry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
like, if you're a 2-weeker or like a 3-weeker.
Well, I mean, I don't know if. So I've toned down a little bit lately. I've been every once in a while I go to a bakery and have a few bites with the family. But I think hunger is one of those things. I think protein shakes help me get through that. I would feel really hungry and I'll be like, nope, for lunch I'm just gonna drink a protein shake. And I get really hungry. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go eat a protein bar. I think so. Protein, but I don't think that's the healthiest thing to do. But it got me through those levels to get through it.
I think how do you keep the motivation? Like, I've never had I've always been single-ish, and like a lot of that drives what I do in the gym, but it's starting to not, like, I'm actually like moving out of that a little bit, because the way you think about relationships kind of changes as you get a little older. And it is for me, at least. It's like I can't keep up with that shit. I need like some trust or something stable, because I need to work and I want to be. So I was like, how do you keep that? Because obviously you lost it at some point, right? You let yourself go a little bit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
how do you keep that mojo about you? Are you doing it for is it so you feel more efficient as a human, or is it because you want to look and feel better, or is it just like a classic combination?
I think I've always had the mindset of like being goal oriented and challenges. I like challenges. So I went vegetarian for a while, and people ask why. Why'd you do
Damn,
that? Why'd you do that? And I'm like, I
damn,
just wanted to see if I
you're
could.
actually crazy.
I
You're
was like,
saying I was
I
crazy.
love meat. I'm keto now. I used to be vegetarian for a while. I am keto now. I love meat. But I
Tell
was
me
like,
about keto real quick. Give me a little your experience. Like, if try to keep your bias out of it. Like, what have you experienced? How have you felt? What has it done different, do you think? I'm gonna feel like you maybe have more energy reserves now, but what is it like?
I don't honestly. I think I'm energy. I could have a little more than I have, but it's a trade off. I go back and forth. I substitute with caffeine, things like that. But keto to me is it's a lifestyle. I mean, it's not. I don't think I'm going to stop. I mean, I don't. I may like tone it down a little bit, but I don't see myself stopping because I found good bread replacements. I found good pasta replacements. I don't need to eat rice. I love meat. I have a great barbecue place. I have people that fix food, stuff like that. I like cooking myself. I like, almond flour. I like to bake. I like to make pastries and stuff like that too. So to me, it's just fun. It's like a challenge. It's like, I like it now. I've grown to taste. I've got a taste for almond flour. I've got a taste for all these different alternate foods.
Dude, you're
And
going all the way in, bro.
oh yeah, yeah.
Dude,
I don't
I
do
have
anything
almond
half-assed. I try
flour.
not to.
Top of my pantry, you would probably looks exactly like top of yours. I guarantee it's like all the like odd, random, like alternative.
Dude, I'll bake you the fucking cupcakes, man. I make some
Dude, I
bad
don't
stuff.
know anything about that life. That sounds good. You should see stuff like that too. Like, see, I think one of the things that
It's therapeutic.
would help you as a content creator would be showing people who you are more, not outside of your channel, not on the YouTube channel, just on Twitter and Instagram. Just posting stuff like that. It gets interaction. People like it. They want to know it.
Yeah.
The reason that I feel like my stuff does good sometimes is because I show people all my stuff. Like, and I'm not saying my people's. I don't show people. I just show like, hey, I got the shields. I'm going to take pictures with the shirt. Like, put a PulseChain shirt on. Take a good pic. People really would respond to that. I promise. But I mean, like, you I don't know where you live, obviously, but like in a nice area, like with a nice PulseChain shirt and a little caption, I'm telling you, stuff like that, it connects the people that watch you with you, and it'll help. And that's something that I've always done, because I always try to have like a dating presence online. So it kind of like, I was like, oh, cool, I can just keep like posting cool shit, because that's kind of what you want to do when you're dating too. You just want to be like social and cool, normal. What about did you have have you ever had a relationship with Instagram or Twitter that was outside of the crypto world?
Not anything that's I don't share that much as far as that goes. I haven't used social media for personal or otherwise for a long time. I kind of deleted Facebook, that whole story a few years ago. Facebook. I don't know. I mean, coming from security mindset and all this and privacy and all this stuff, I don't know. I like OPSEC. I like my technical security. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to share.
How technical do you go when you go down your own research? Like, I mean, what kind of stuff do you really like to get into? If it wasn't about the show, right? Like, obviously some things aren't as cool. I was talking about PulseChain servers versus Binance servers, and it wasn't validators, and it wasn't catching like I'd like it to, because no
Oh.
one gave a shit. You know, like
Yeah.
people were just like, "What are you talking about?"
So that's the funny thing. Like I have this technical background, and I could go blade. I could, we could talk about computer science. We could talk about whatever, like these deep technical, like how do these machine instructions actually work at the electronic level and the that nobody gives a shit. I've learned that in crypto, like nobody eyes will glaze over and nobody cares. So even when I'm writing blogs, like the blog I released today about the free claim stuff, I was skeptical of myself of, am I going too technical on this? Like, am I providing too many references and too much research? Because I didn't want people to click away because they just can't understand it or whatever.
I think your threads on Twitter could be you could stand out as a technical deep diver on the stuff that because I follow those accounts like crazy. The ones that my notifications are on for guys like you, for guys that would post something that had some detail in it.
Well, here's the funny thing too. I've actually got some catching up to do on the crypto side, because although I know I know a lot of the technicals with security and all this stuff, I've never wrote a smart contract before. Like it's hard for me to talk about smart contracts if I haven't actually deployed one, audited one myself. So to me, like anything I produce, anything I write, anything I create, I want it to be like bulletproof. I want it to be like, there is no, I don't care to get feedback.
You have to get with me and Bullish and Sam. We talk the same exact way. And we're going all in too. Like I'm doing a lot. Like I want crypto to be my career, and I don't know how that's going to be moving forward, but there's endless opportunity, like endless, but there's not endless people that'll do quality work.
I see that, and over a long time period, like not just quality for a little while, be consistently, like what you're going to get from this person every single time, and that's what I try to do. But my background is so far from crypto that it's like I could talk. You bring anyone in here, security expert from whatever the industry, we could talk turkey all day.
Dude, you should be make sure you let everyone know that. Like make sure everyone knows that.
Nobody cares though, I don't think.
No, dude, people do care. John McCoy.
You say security, shit, you're gonna talk about hardware wallets again? Fuck this. Like
security, I know.
I don't want to lose followers.
What about
Is it weird I'm holding back this stuff? Like I have this whole other side, but I'm like, I don't think anyone cares about it, honestly.
It's funny because guys like me that don't have any technical background, I like it because I ain't never been exposed to it. But now I can see where you're coming from. Like most people probably have like a general technical background. So it's kind of like they're like, this is classic, like, but for me, it's like a wild west. I'm like, this is
I'm learning media. That's what I'm getting a lot from this too. I'm learning the media. I'm learning the production side. I never streamed before. I never set up microphones and cameras, and I never fucking StreamYard. I didn't know what StreamYard was a couple months ago. So for me, I'm like developing this whole other side of my skill set and learning as I go and I'm just so glad people want to come on the show. Like I thought that would be the hardest thing, would be to get people to come on the show. And I'm not saying it's easy, and I definitely have to wrangle some cats every once in a while, but I'm just so happy I can book people. And if I need to work harder, if I need to stream 4 or 5 days in a row, I streamed like 7 days in a row the other day. I was like, who am I? Am I JRC? What's going on?
Just make sure you're hitting those times. Like if I had any suggestion for you, it would be like, whatever times you do during the week, try to do that same time the next week, if you can.
Yeah. So I do set up, try to do 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. PST. And I think a lot of my audience is in EST. So that'd be like 2 p.m. and 7 in the evening. That's just the best times for me. And that it's hard once I get the family, used to the schedule. It's kind of hard to move those things unless I absolutely have to.
Of course.
So I have to find that balance. But yeah, I think I do look at the YouTube metrics and I see the peak hours when people are watching. And it seems to be from PST, seems to be 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. PST is like the most watching. So
have you ever thought about making some sort of full transition away from your daily? I have no idea what your situation, obviously, so that could be so variable. But in the future, is that something that you ponder? Is that something? Oh yeah, because you're young. Let's be real. You're not. You're under 40, 100%. I've been wrong before about that, because the last time I said someone was under 40, they were over 40. But I said they were under 30 and they were over 40. So I'm not going to guess, but I would assume you're in your 30s. or early or late 20s, like something like that.
I'm going to answer the question, but real quick, Crypto Sloth. Yes, I like VPNs. I don't like the way people misuse them. And I can go into that VPN rant if you like to. Sometime.
You can teach me about VPNs because I don't use them.
I clipped a part on it. Did I write a blog on it? I don't know if I did or not yet. But anyways, I think we'll get into that in a minute. But I'll answer your question about. So I'm in it for financial freedom. I would like to say one day, oh my gosh, I don't have to have a full-time job anymore. Because not that I want to take that time and put it more into streaming. Right. It may happen. I don't know. But like I want to be able to say, I don't need to have a job where I have to show up, to talk a certain way, people tell me what to do, blah, blah, blah. That has been my dream for a long time. And I never thought I would ever get it until 3 years ago. I thought, I'll just work for a while, I'll get some stock. I'll somehow, I'll become this multimillionaire and be able to do my own business and do whatever I want. But crypto, that was the eye-opening part for me. That was when I got red pilled. I was like, holy shit, crypto can give me the one thing I want most in the world, control over my time.
Right.
And people say financial freedom, they throw it around, financial freedom, all this stuff. That's what I want. And if I get that, I don't know. I'm too much of a productive person to say I can call it good in my life. There's no way that's going to happen.
Well, no, you'd probably end up making more money. It does push you in a weird way too, because you're
so motivating. It's
I quit my job, but
it's like you're dangling this. Oh, just come get it. I'm like, yes, I'll come get it. I want it. But you got to want it. Most people don't want it. Most people think about it. It'd be nice to have. Oh, I don't know. I like my job. They tell me what to do. Fuck that.
I can't even imagine having a job. Like I never really had a normal job before in my life, but I was a tower tech for a while. So I built cell phone towers on top of.
That sounds like a cool job, actually.
It's cool, but it's sketchy. After a couple of months, you'd be like, being 300 feet in the air for work. You're kind of like, dude, this is sketchy as hell. But they pay you a lot, right? Because you're 300 feet in the air. So it's kind of like, I was like, and then I realized, I was like, I was thinking about doing that shit forever, literally. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I would rather take a bullet through center mass. Like literally for any job, because I'm more productive this way, period. But I don't have a family. I tell people that all the time. Like, you really have to protect your peoples first. Come on. Like, that's fair game. Like, if you got peoples, you got to protect them first. But that does not mean for 1 second you cannot chase your dreams. Not for 1 second. You have to adjust your strat for sure. Yeah. But for me, it's like there's negatives and positives, right? Like I have to push myself really hard every single day. And there's a stress involved in that. It's stressful, right? Like I don't have I have enough to pay the bills and residual income, but come on, I'm not trying to just be skimping here. Like it's off the bone, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. But it's just a sacrifice. You got to take it. People say, Jim, you should get a job. You should get a job. And I'm like, you got to think harder. You got to punch harder. You got to.
People telling you get a job and you stream every day, providing that kind of value.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, you should protect yourself and your money. And I'm like, oh, trust me, I am protecting myself, because when I was working, making $1,800 a week, I was spending $1,100 a week. And then I learned crypto taught me, they're like, you can cut your bills. Sam was like, you can cut your stuff down. I'm at like $800 a month just to break even. And it's like, come on. But again, it's not like a luxury lifestyle by any means.
Do you think so we have staking. I just want to pivot into HEX just a little bit, because I think it's an interesting point. Please. We have staking, which, delayed gratification. It keeps you from spending, selling early, all this stuff. Your comment on spending money, as fast as you get it, for example, by making that much weekly. Do you think fiat on-ramps and HEX, having something where people could turn on, putting their paycheck into that, it's kind of like the 401k. If you ever worked for a big company, you can put, your money into 401k, kind of like that, but with, Richard Heart products, with whatever crypto products. Can you see that in the future? Like saving, not even staking, but like saving yourself by like automatically contributing to stuff like that?
Well, The HEX investment trust is a good example. We were talking about this on my show earlier because we were getting into the legislation and stuff. And it's like, at the end of the day, you just want adoption. You want people in the system. And the legislation, after we got to the bottom of it, really was allowing more of that. Like, so it ended up being more of a positive thing. But in general, when it comes to the fiat on-ramp, the staking feature, I just don't see it yet. I just don't see, like, that is not in my near future to me. As far as like straight to heck, maybe like 2 years. I don't do the bear market. I'm very concerned about altcoins short term. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just being honest. Like, I study a lot and I look at a lot of the same stuff, and it's very.
We are not maximum pain. We are not.
Oh my God, no, dude. I bought for less than this time last year. How dare you say max pain? Anyone? I have felt zero pain. I'm not even involved. Okay, I can't really feel the pain that some would feel, because obviously the swings are heavy if you have like $100 million, right? Like, you're going to have to play it a little different. But I tell people this all the time. If HEX went to zero, my life would really not change, because
but that's the thing.
I did things properly.
That's the thing. I wouldn't say most people, a lot of people coming in here have been here 6 months and they're over leveraged. They have put not their life savings, but they put a significant amount of money expecting a significant return in a short period of time. And they haven't been here very long, been here 6 months or a year. You know, a lot of them come 2022, 2021. And they're like, oh crap, what did I do? They were onboarded pretty late, you know, right on the edge of the bear market.
People don't want to say it. People don't want to say that they were onboarding those people at 56 cents. But the whole entire time I was saying the same thing. This is not onboard friendly. I don't care what anyone says. I'm done onboarding random people. And and I said that long before we dipped. They're not ready. They're not, normal ass people are not ready to stake in a smart contract on a decentralized wallet. They're just not there yet.
This idea I never thought of. So can you see in the HEX portal, staking portal, you know, they got all the tabs and stuff. Can you see like fiat on-ramp tab, where you literally, you know, in the portal, you sign up your bank account or whatever, and it automatically stakes a certain length for you.
Oh my God, that would be sick.
But it's just to the point of like, people aren't ready. They don't kind of know what they're signing up for. But if you make it something where they don't need to go to Coinbase, Ethereum, USDC, Uniswap, MetaMask, they don't have to do all that shit. They just have to go to hex.com/onramp, you know?
You have a better idea though. Like, what does that take? I mean, maybe you have a better idea because you development wise, like, what does this really take? Because let's be honest, this has nothing. I guess at the end of the day, this has nothing to do with development. There's probably many developers that can make that happen. What it has to do with is the relationship to the stable coin. Like, where is this relationship to the stable coin that we're going to have, right? I mean, obviously, the way that you were saying, it's kind of like, you know, there's so many different things that can happen. I don't know enough. I just don't know enough, like, about how these things can go, because it's like legislation mixed with the banks, mixed with, like, is it going to be a stable coin? It could end up being USDC, like bridged USDC. Like, it could be a liquid loans or whatever ends up interacting with the banks. But how do you get into the banks? That's what I would want to know. Like, where is that trigger point where you're like, who's the guy who's like, hey, we're going to talk to the guy today who
you got to buy a bank, I think, honestly. Like, I'm not super smart in the finance industry, but to me, it's just like Richard or HEX Investment Trust folks, or somebody's got to buy a bank, and then you do the integration. There must be something harder about it. There must be something that's missing, because otherwise there's all kinds of millionaires in HEX. Why hasn't somebody did it yet? It seems straightforward to me. You buy a bank, you get the relationship, and you do it. But I'm sure there's, you know, I'm just ignorant about certain aspects of it, but I don't know, it seems straightforward in a lot of ways. I'm surprised I'm surprised we haven't heard about a project that's going to do it.
Like, is HEX Investment Trust kind of something along those lines? Like, I know it's not. I know it's not a bank, obviously, but it is an interaction between legacy investors with over $1 million, which is still a different category of people.
So I think the biggest thing about the HEX investment trust, it's awesome, but I think that you got to have a lot of money to put into it at first. It couldn't be. I don't think it's something where you sign up, every 2 weeks to put $1,000 into or whatever.
No, you need like $6.8 million in asset.
Right. So it's more of accredited investor, that type of stuff or more. That's why
I was doing the math with the guys, and it came out to roughly $6.8 million in assets before there was enough meat on before it was. It says $1 million, but ain't no one paying $30,000 for a fee with $1 million. That's just not enough. It's just not. I looked at some of the stuff. It just wasn't there yet. And I even asked RG, and he said probably not. Like he's like, this is a little low. But again, we want adoption. This is a weird concept, but like Sam kind of beats this into my head a lot too. He's like, I don't give a crap about the random people anymore. It's like you want adoption now. We're at that point. 4% of the population has crypto. It is going to go to 50% before you wake up, in a couple of years. That's what you have to anticipate. Blockchain is just like the microwave. It's just like every technology. It will adopt, period. What will adopt? DeFi is going to adopt. It's the best technology in the last decade, period.
Yeah.
So it's like when, how, what will adopt, where will the lobbyists go with the Bitcoin and stuff, but all of it kind of leads to like more adoption, which I'm excited about.
Certainly, as SJ said, MCA is doing a lot of that vertical integration. I certainly hope so. I know they're doing a lot of things behind the scenes. I hope a fiat on-ramp comes out of them or otherwise. I just think just imagine the tweet, MCA or whoever else buys blah, blah, blah bank. Wouldn't that just blow your mind that day? Like, wouldn't that just be one of the coolest things other than the documentary? I'm super bullish on the documentary. I think community is going to double.
I would fucking scream.
But like, imagine documentary comes out, somebody buys a bank, PulseChain launches all in the same month. Like, where's the meme for just like blowing everything blows up? Like, just
dude, we're gonna need you heavy during PulseChain, bro. Like you're gonna this is all fun and games for both of us.
Body's ready.
Yeah, it's like ready. It's fun and games. I think we both kind of know this intuitively too. It's like right now we're kind of prepping, right? It's like it's almost like we're prepping for, because there's real value that will have to be given. Like, I mean, this is real value to someone who really cares. But in PulseChain, there's gonna be like immediate value to like random ass people. Like, you know what I mean? Where you're like, hey, like, something's going on today. Let's check this out. Like, give me a second. Let me get someone on here who knows how to code. Let's talk through this project before you free claim. Like all this stuff is going to be happening real time. And the channels that do well are the ones that are going to actually cover. Like, there's going to be a lot. And like you said, you were like, which ones when they have enough money will go away? My thing is which ones when they don't want to keep up anymore will go away. It's come on, dude. Like, at what dollar symbol are you like, hey, the extra Hedron 8X, I just can't keep up with the free, I can't keep up. There's the Hedron Maxi that came out of nowhere. I know OGs and HEX that still don't know what Maxi is.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because it's just like, they're like, dude, I have $150 million. Like, you know what I mean?
Or they have, that many followers too. And they just, I think once you get to a certain follower count and sub and stuff like that, things drift away. It's a lot harder to contact people and things like that. So not super surprised they wouldn't be all down with all the new projects, but that's interesting too. Cause that could be, are we missing whales because of that? Like whales, not the person whales, but like, are we missing whales from getting into some of these projects because they're literally like, they're already, on this other level already.
Do you think that RH knows exactly what is going on down to like way, way more than we know?
I mean, are you talking about
from your experience? Like, from your experience with stuff, again, like you have way more experience in technical stuff than I do. You just do, like within fields that are like specific. Like, this is very specific. Like, it's not like he can twerk and do all that stuff. Like, this is software. Like at the end of the day, like this is like he's doing other stuff. But as far as what was like my half question again?
Do you think he knows what's going on with
Do
this
you
stuff?
like because my like lizard senses, my spidey senses tell me like there's no way I have even 1 ounce of the insight that he does, because I know about having insight in other things like bodybuilding, like something like you know a lot about nutrition and lifting, but even, maybe to someone like me, and I'm not using you as a direct example, but maybe someone that even had a lot of experience, to someone like Sam Stoll, Sam would be like, he doesn't know anything. And not to you, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's levels to this shit. Like, it's just like, and with nutrition, you know that with the keto and stuff, there's people that eat well, but like when you say go to vegetarian, it's like, hold up a second. Like, you know what I mean? And you've been there. You know what it's like. It's a real,
climbed a lot of mountains, I'll say that.
Right. And so like, I feel like deep down, Richard's so braggadocious. He's so willing to tell people to short him and to screw off. And his ego is so tied into this that all my social cues are saying there is a 0% chance this dude does not realize this thing is going to absolutely blow people's faces off.
Dude, that's part of my persona too. Richard Heart Maximalist. I buy his stock. I don't care what he does. I don't care how he acts. I don't enjoy the fashion shows. I
And
don't
you're
enjoy to
not
watch
the kind
shows.
of guy that would. And let's call a spade a spade. You're the kind of guy that would be like, probably like, that is not like, what is, like, it's just odd. To me too. Like, it's just like, I am braggadocious and egotistical, but even to that point, it's like, it's almost like a in-depth marketing tactic, to the point where I'm like, I don't know what this dude's doing anymore.
Oh, if I discovered him in 2021 or 2022, I don't think I would buy in. I wouldn't. Just
That's a good
I've known him so long from the beginning of my beginning, at least 2017. I've known him before HEX and all this stuff, and I just know. I see what his deal is. I know what he is for. I know it's about glory. I know it's about Sin's Foundation and longevity in general. I know what he wants out of it. It's all a means to an end. I've said this before. I think when his Wikipedia article, his biography or whatever is written, crypto won't be the biggest thing. It may even be a footnote. It will be about longevity. It'll be about being this person who just made such a huge difference. But crypto is the means to the end for that.
Do you feel that in yourself? It's a smaller scale for everyone. I mean, Richard's really blown through some crazy shit for anyone. But like in general, I feel the same way. I don't want to do anything that doesn't matter. To some degree, I can't. I just can't. I have to try to fight for something. I'm just like a weirdo. Like, I want to fight for what is hard and what is confusing and what is not known by the average person. And it's not like I think the government's like, I'm not like the type of guy to like, my parents would say the opposite. They're like, Scott's a conspiracy theorist, sick effer. But in reality, I'm pretty like, I don't think they're trying to ruin anyone's life. They're just not transparent. Like, that's kind of where I come at. Like, I just think they're not
talking about
the government.
The government.
You know how a lot of the people in the HEX community are with a lot of that stuff. They get deep into that. I'm not so much on that token. It's just like there's lack of transparency in YouTube and the media. And that's where I wanted my channel to kind of shine. It's like, I'm willing to be 100% transparent. Like, for whatever reason, it's like where I'm at, right? Like with the steroid use, with everything, because I see no one is. So I know that people will care, because I see kids that are 16, 17 doing steroids, and they have they're getting sold shit, and they're ruining their lives, and they have no idea about the research. They have no idea that their gonads are going to, like, they don't know any of it. And they're 17. They're not even fully through puberty, and they're getting sold this shit online. It's just as bad in the crypto industry. And I made those two ties quickly. I understood. I was like, oh, this hyper guerrilla marketing that I noticed in bodybuilding, it's the same exact thing. But bodybuilding's huge, right? Crypto's not huge yet. So I see it. What's the mainstream bodybuilding now? They want to sell you whatever protein powder, they're whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it don't matter which one's better. Come on.
Jack 3D. What do you know about that?
and they say they're natty. It's like, what? Even guys like me are saying we're not. Like, come on, dude. Like, I work out every day. I bench press 205 pounds for 20 reps today. I'm 165 pounds. And I don't look like those fucking gorillas. Like, come on. You've seen those guys. They're like
strong, man.
And I look pretty ripped, like in a really good shot with the lighting right. But I look at those guys and I'm like, you're telling everyone you're natty. That's wrong. It's not right. It's not correct. I don't like it because it actually causes negative effects to others. I'm telling you, it does, because it did it to me. I was like, dude, I'm working out 24 hours a day. My biceps aren't getting any bigger. Like, and then I figured it out, obviously.
It's about money. I mean, a lot of it, if you can't figure it out, somebody's, incentivized to make money on it somehow. And they're just forgetting all the, for lack of a better phrase, trail of dead bodies that it leaves between. Dead, all kinds of negative effects, especially to kids. Like, Jesus Christ.
And they don't care. They don't give a shit about the kids, dude. They don't care if it's your kid, my kid, any kid. They will sell them steroids underground, period. And they don't even label them as steroids, and they will shut your balls down. Like, it's crazy.
My balls shut down.
You know what I mean? Like, some people don't mind their balls shut down if they've already had a few kids and they don't want
that. Okay. Well,
but I'm talking like 50, 60 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're not hyper aware of all these things in bodybuilding, you must stay away. Like, you must, because come on, please don't put yourself in a risky situation. I put myself in a lot of risky situations when I was really young, and it kind of opened my mind to some weird shit. But like, as far as like you would probably suggest, some people don't do exactly what you did in your life, but you learned from it. But again, you learn from the hardest moments in your life, so it's hard to say.
There is no failure, only feedback. That's my mantra these days. I've definitely failed
a lot.
You go to
regular school and shit? Like, you go to regular public school and like college and kind of U.S.? Yeah.
I've just been on my wisdom journey the last few years.
What was up? Like, why? Like, come on. Like, you can't beat around the bush. Like, you're pretty open-minded, which is, I know guys like you, and it's rare. It's just rare. Like, technical guys, and then they end up being like open-minded, like about you're very open-minded at this point, and a lot of guys in your field aren't. Like, where did it change?
Well, I think when I started following Richard, I started reading the self-development, Scivive, all that stuff. And I saw crypto. Like I mentioned earlier, I said, hey, this is my chance out. This is my financial freedom. It's actually possible. And I can do it way before 65. I'd like to do it before 40, all that thing. So I just said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I can't be dumb. I cannot be a dummy. I have to get smart. When I get rich, I want to be able to use it well. I don't want to screw it up. Do not screw this up. You got one chance at this. Do not screw it up. So like, I have to get smart. I have to get smart about all these different aspects of my life. And so I just started searching out wisdom. I just started going down YouTube and reading books, and just like, I've went through hundreds of book summaries, and, probably close to 100 books now, I'd say, in the last 3 years, if I counted them up. Audiobooks became my daily listening. I mean, just every morning I wake up, I'm still not there. I still feel like I got a ways to go, but I didn't want to screw it up. I knew I was going to be rich one day, and I don't want to screw it up. So I got to get wise. I have to go do this. So yeah, about 3 years ago, I just started going heads down into all these different people and all these different books. And man, like I said, I'm not there yet, but hey, that was my motivation. Don't screw it up. You're going to be successful.
You're going to be, when PulseChain comes out, dude, you're going to be like, I know, because you're going to have to cover some stuff that your expertise will shine through, because you'll be capable. There's going to be a lot. I tell people all the time, like, these guys that do daily shows 4 times a week, 3 times a week, like, we're going to have legitimate shit. Like, when I say legitimate, like, all the stuff we're talking about now is legitimate, but it's not essential for this moment, right? Like, it's not like, there's nothing we're saying is like, oh, get your computer out. Like, I really do feel like we're going to be almost like, very important, and that's why I want to set myself up in this way. One, because I want to be popular and shit, and have a career, and like make connections, and do all that stuff. But really, what I want to do is like feel like when I wake up in the morning, like other people, like I'm helping everyone, because it just makes me feel better. I don't know what the weird word is for it, but it's just like, I feel better. I just feel better when I do that. I feel like a leader, and it makes me feel like a man.
You have that motivation to want to help people and like get value. Like it's a win-win too. Like you say that you look at Richard and you see, hey, if he's the OA, blah, 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 and if he's a multi-billionaire, why not? Like he's helping other people become all these things. He's giving back to him, being selfish and him having this goal of like, what's a more selfish goal than glory? Like that's not evil. You can't have a more selfish goal than being the one in glory more than anything. But that's okay. That's good because his glory means everyone who follows him are going to get they're going to get that, what do you call it? What's the phrase? The trickle down glory, trickle down economic.
And he knows what he's doing. He's very.
That was your original question. Do I think he knows exactly what he's doing? Yes. I think he knows all the stuff about PulseChain. He knows
what if he makes the bottom?
What the things are. Here's where,
dude, I keep thinking he's making the top himself in the bottom. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't, in my head, I can't imagine calling the top on the day. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, dude was mining Bitcoin in this year, and I'm like extrapolating it out and trying to think of some numbers, and I'm like, it's possible. But
he definitely celebrates his wins, and that's fine because his goal is to make himself look as good, as smart, as rich as possible, and as fun and engaging and outrageous and all this stuff. So that's why he celebrates. That's why you hear him say, "I called the top on the day" like 10,000 times.
Do you think he could have made the top?
I mean, he said before, he said it so discreetly as to not make the top. But if you have. I always thought, okay, honestly, I think you got to have a lot more followers to pull that off.
That's where you might be right. That's where you might. That's kind of where I was getting.
To take that position, I would say, what's the difference between does this technically happen or is this marketing?
Yeah, I think it's and we're all.
He's tuning in. I don't give a shit. He could say whatever he wants.
But if he called the bottom on the day, dude, he made the bottom. I don't care. If he called it on the day, dude.
Hey, the next top, like once we get out of this bear market and get into a bull run, and he has 1 million followers like he so deserves, maybe he will make the next top or the next, whatever. He's definitely gaining an influence.
Richard, thank you, Richard, for everything you have done. You've helped me immensely, and even without any financial gain, you have helped like all the financial gain apart in the crypto benefit. His work has opened my mind to a lot, and my mind was open already, and he opened it even more, which is very rare. The OA/SAC address, yes.
5 bullets. Maybe. So the OA and SAC, they do what's in the best interest for the coin and the network. So that's another thing I really respect. Richard could, whoever the OA is, could manipulate the shit out of the market and do it. They could be buying and selling. They could be doing all this stuff and having all these crazy pumps. HEX could be $2 today if it was wanted to be. It could be like that's how much they had. Was it like 97% is locked or whatever it is? OA owns most of the stuff. The price could be insane, but that's not healthy. That's not sustainable long term. That's not what they're in it for. They could do all these crazy stuff, but that's what I respect. One of the things I respect most about him, about whoever that is that they want glory. They don't want to cheat. They don't want to do it. They want to have that integrity intact to make it happen because the environment was influenced to make it happen. It happened naturally because it was set up and designed so well and all these things we talk about. Not because they cheated, not because they pumped it into the moon and then it all fell and it crashed and big Ponzi, all this stuff. That's one of the things I respect the most, the integrity of whoever's behind all this stuff going on. They want it to be legit. And that makes everything work better. That makes it all worth it. Just killed the stream. I think you're on mute.
No, it's been a great stream. No, we're gonna have a lot to do moving forward. It's gonna be. I really do hope we don't have to wait another year for PulseChain. But to be honest,
It's 2 more weeks, man.
I'm done feeling like I know anything about what's going on. So I'm gonna just go with the flow. I got a lot of stuff to do, so.
Hey, I did want to touch on DeFi legislation though, because I didn't get to listen to everything this morning. I listen to you just about every day, by the way. I'm in there like fucking cutting up breakfast, and I'm like making and I'm like having coffee, and then
Yes,
I'm like doing chores, and I'm listening
that's when
to
I'm
it.
jacked up. I'm very jacked up in the morning, as you can tell.
Yes, I'll pick up my phone like, oh, live chat. Okay, let me tell you something real quick. But anyways, I didn't get to listen to everything this morning, but. Did you have like a recap? Did you have something that's like,
well, generally,
what's good, bad,
what
ugly?
they're trying to do? I'll tell you what they're trying to do with the bill, and it probably won't pass. But they're trying to make Ethereum and DeFi a commodity. I mean, they're trying to make it a security. So they're trying to make Ethereum and all the layer ones a security. They're trying to make Bitcoin more dominant. But at the end of the day, the people that actually know crypto, that actually know about Bitcoin intimately, which is rare, very rare. Not many people understand Bitcoin from top to bottom. As far as you tell people that there's a 5-hour transaction time and they'll look at you sideways, and I'm like, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you. But anyway, so it's like Sam's under the impression that this is them, that this is what they have to do. They have no choice. They're going to hedge their bets in whatever way they can. And this is them sliding in where they can. It's not, this is only good for adoption. And this is where actually adoption comes from. Believe it or not, it comes from this legislation. All the people that talk about, like if there was a little bit more regulation within crypto, it would be better for the average person. And the fact is, that's true. It is true. It's not good for the DeFi nerds like me and RH Maxi, because we don't care about that shit. We'll sit here for a decade and buy the bottoms and wait for people to catch on. But
it's high risk. Yeah.
But the truth is, once they catch on, the people that were here first, those are the rich people. And this is what this is doing. It's almost an admission. Now, they wrote a 600-page draft. It is all stupid. Bullshit. It's 600 pages. If there is a 600-page document, by definition, that document is retarded. What could you have to explain in 600 pages? Only something that no one would ever read. Literally, by giving someone that 600-page document, you are, by definition, giving something no one would read, except the people that are actually typing the document. There's no senator, anyone reading this shit, but they have a council of people that they just pick, like Michael Saylor and shit, where they get to read over literally like Michael.
I could see his face. I could hear his voice, just like, well, we're gonna do the 600-page. Okay, you got page 10 now.
And he's like one of the advisors, and
sir.
a couple other senators. And it's just, at the end of the day, guys, this is a part of adoption. Who knows what the taxes will be? This bill probably won't pass. And no one.
Hey, Build Back Better didn't pass, and it had a bunch of crazy stuff in it. Yeah, like from crypto as well.
But did you see the Telegram exploit thing from this morning that people were passing around?
No.
There's like this weird this basically is this guy, and if you watch like the beginning of my show, is actually right in the beginning, and I pulled up this article. It's this guy, and he was like, I'm dying from this whatever. He's an older guy, and he's like, I want to tell everyone about what I've been doing on Telegram, because he's dying. So he's like, I don't give a fuck like anymore. And he was like, a mission of guilt. He was like, I've been spying on this, that, and the other, and I have these people's accounts, and there's this exploit, and on this date, I'm going to be releasing 137 gigabytes of people's data that are furus in the crypto space. And he has all their documents and shit. So he's like, I got guys with over 1 million followers on here in the crypto space that I'm going to absolutely dox. So it's on the 17th, or said, he says all the documentation is going out. So be ready for that. That'll be interesting. It seemed legit, but again, it was a Telegram thread. So I don't want to be like,
Okay, I thought you meant like a virus going around on Telegram or something.
Well, no, it was this guy who basically said they had this exploit, and he was explaining it. He was literally telling everyone how he did it. And then he was telling everyone what he was doing. And he said he never stole money, but he was only exploiting He said it was still very illegal and horrible. He felt horrible for it. He did not believe it was right because he said it was like he was deceiving people within it. Like he was spying on people, but he wasn't stealing their money. He was actually doing it for like, if you can imagine, like if you had all the access to spy on people and you were like, hey, I'm not a horrible guy, but I do still want to spy on everyone. It was like kind of that. Like he said he got addicted to spying on people. But I can imagine like
doesn't sound legal though. Whether he stole money or not, you don't access.
No, he said it, but he said he was dying and he's like, hey, I just want to go out with a conscience. And I was like, hey, drop that shit, you know. I was like,
wow,
if you're gonna die, bro, drop all that knowledge because people are really worried about Telegram. Again, I still use Telegram.
So what do you think would be useful for dropping it though? Do you think literally just to make Telegram, people know about Telegram's vulnerabilities, to make it better?
About crypto people that are lying. So he said he was in all these groups where people were setting up these scams, and he has the documentation of them actually like going through and like talking to their people about how they were going to interact with the people and how they were going to eventually get over on them with million plus subs he mentioned. So like that could be all bluff, but you never know. I mean, it was pretty specific. So
I always think those situations are a little bit more complicated though than, through the lens of, they all could be, it could be all this righteous stuff that comes out and all these scammers get what they deserve and all this stuff. But
right.
I always think that there's a lot of innocent people that get mowed down along the way when that stuff tends to come out. Like a lot of people who are just didn't know they were participating in a bad way. And, it could be 5% of it, but I always feel for the people who kind of get caught up in those things that, I don't know. They're not quite scammers. Maybe they, maybe they didn't quite see what was going on at the time, but now their reputation's getting trashed. So I don't know. I always take that perspective too. Like, ooh, I hope hope it doesn't hurt a lot of people in the process too, who don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm not in there.
Dude, I was just looking at my Instagram. There's another 2 fake Instagram accounts that are trying to hack people with all my pictures and shit. It's so annoying.
Well, you need to make your muscles you need to zoom in and then first of all, you need to get verified. Second of all, zoom in on your muscles and make it a picture they cannot fake. Use one of those non-fakeable pictures. You can buy them online for like $20. Use one of those. And then just post stuff that only you would post, so they'd never know. And then make sure you post like, send me 3 ETH, get 2.5 back.
I wish these people
would send just to confuse the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's so annoying. It's like there's so many fucking scam accounts, all this shit. Please, let's fix this shit as we go forward.
Every time I comment on somebody's video, I see a reply. Hey, thanks for commenting. Please call me at WhatsApp. I'm like, how is this? How can all this censorship? How can all these auto bots pull, make your stuff private or pull your stuff? I've had this happen to me about a month ago. It made a video private and they came back later. Oh, we had a bug in the system. I'm like, yeah, it was a bot. You heard me say libertarianism or something and you just like blocked it. How can they be so good at that, but not catch all the spammers? I just think the misallocation of resources.
It's like they don't give a shit. That's what it feels like.
All right, man. Gratitude. Did you read the end of the doc? It talks about gratitude.
I did.
Good. So you're prepared. So every day should be a little bit like Thanksgiving. Eat good. Great conversations. Show your muscles and say what you're thankful for.
I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for RH. I'm thankful for RH. I don't think people give him enough credit. I think people forget shit really quick in the bear market, and he's been always straight up with me as far as all the information he's given me. So I'm gonna stick with him for now, and we'll see where we go. But yeah, I'm grateful for his transparency. He's the reason that I'm in the crypto space 100%.
Well, I hope to stay in the community forever. I, of course, am a little biased. I don't think I can't see myself being in other cryptos really, like outside of the community. I'm happy that there's so many shiny objects. Maxi had drawn, like Alon's Mantra, blah, 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 all the community projects. They're awesome out there. I'm happy there's so many shiny objects within the ecosystem that keep, my consciousness busy and brain power flexing towards. I don't know. It's, I think I don't know where my life would be without discovering Richard, getting on the wisdom journey, discovering the HEX community, meeting all of you. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the opportunity to just hang out, share my knowledge, and man, it's such a good stream. Very therapeutic stream.
Yes, for real.
I'm thankful for you too. I think it's selfish of me to enjoy. It's funny thing. Here's the way I think about it. It's selfish for me to enjoy your daily streams because I feel like I'm taking something from you. Like I don't want to tell you how much I like your streams because I don't want that to be there for you. So you think, no, I don't want to disappoint all the people. Like,
no, dude,
because I feel selfish even getting you to like it that much.
I love the stream, dude. It's been the best thing that I've ever done.
I hope it gives you so much more than what people are asking. I'll say it like that. I hope it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think it's going to. If I just got to keep working. And you too, man. You're crushing it, bro. Like you're doing so much stuff. You're gonna just be absolutely successful for real. Like you're gonna crush it.
Hey, I launched in a bear market, so if that tells you anything.
Yeah, dude. We're both launching in a bear. I mean, I pretty much launched in a bear too. We're getting it.
That's right.
I mean, mine was a bit like, it wasn't quite. HEX wasn't bear yet. But Bitcoin.
Did you launch when HEX was 50 cents?
No, I launched when HEX was probably like 21 cents, and then it like worked its way like down only from there. But it would have been, yeah. I'm glad I didn't. The top was pretty overvalued, I guess. But anyway, dude, it's been great. Sorry, I was just trying to answer. There's so many scam accounts that I was trying to answer these two.
I'm glad you're taking time on stream to answer your spam requests.
Sorry, they're literally like, this is what they're telling me. They're like, they're trying to get me to block you. Like the scam account is messaging me, telling me to block you because you're the scam account.
What?
Yeah, dude, they're into it. Dude, I'm telling you, it sucked. I'm just gonna fucking don't get Instagram, dude.
You took a 180. You're like, you need Instagram, you need to
share
your
personality. Yeah, dude. If you're gonna do it, just pretend like you're not doing it. It's just like there are people that are actually going to get like scammed. Like there's people that get scammed from my account, my fake accounts, for sure. It sucks. It really sucks. It's like you have no control. Like it's like the one thing. It's like I wish I could just have an account. But anyway, I could.
It's the bad thing about a walled garden, you know. And it's been a pleasure. Glad we got some time together. We got to work through some stuff, killing it. Can't really see. Yeah.
You're gonna get into my stream here in the next.
My muscles aren't worth seeing compared to yours anyway. So,
are you gonna get it onto my stream next week?
Am I gonna get it onto your stream?
Yeah. You got time during the week?
Oh yeah.
11 a.m.
You haven't sent me a link for a while. I've been waiting here every morning.
No, because I'm actually been trying to.
I'm just kidding.
But seriously, I've been trying to not just like invite random people on just for the sake of like the organization. Kind of, you get that. Like it's fun, but it's like, oh wait, this guy didn't. You know, you have to at some point you got to get organized with it, and just kind of like. But dude, I appreciate you inviting me on so much. This is awesome. I really appreciate coming on here. Always insightful. This is the best way to spend my night.
Thank you for your time, your energy, your quick wit and humor. GRC, everyone. He gets me pumped. He gets me pumped in the morning. Show some muscles. You got enough muscle for both of us. I'm not gonna put mine up there again. But look at that. Look at that. Blue wants it. Blue gets on a lot of my clips, and he just puts these flames. I want to call out Blue real quick. He puts these flames, and they're just amazing. And like I think he comments on my clips and videos more than anyone else. So I appreciate it, Blue. You're killing it. Bugs, we appreciate you too, man. We're going to end it there. This has been your boy, RHMax, with Crypto in the Evening. And say good.
Peace out, guys. Have a great day.
See you.